Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lilith. Welcome to the lily pad. Yeah, today has been interesting. It is my first day filming a lot, and when I say a lot, I used to film a lot more years ago, so for me it feels like a lot, but I've spent the day kind of like on and off filming, taking photos and all that. So yeah, it's a very interesting day. But I just wanted to come and share with you guys something. I wanted to share with you guys something that I recently acquired. Oh my god, my cat is in here and I did not know because I had already shut the door and locked it, but I guess she's been hiding here. So everybody say hi to Sumi. My Sumatra, my Starbucks trash baby. I found her by the Starbucks dumpster when she was a baby and she was only 1 pound. She's my troublemaker. But the other cat, Morgan, is out there sleeping. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys something that I acquired recently, and as I've stated before in other videos, like I love things. I like having things, but I also know that things do not make up life. At any given time, I know that things can be taken away just as quickly as they can be acquired. My whole life, I have had a lot and I've also not had much. So I've experienced multiple areas of the spectrum of having and not having. So when I do acquire things, I am always thankful, very mindful, and appreciative of the things that I have. Me sharing this is not in any way to make anybody feel bad. It's just something that I was excited about, that on my end of the spectrum of life and experiences, it's something that is very meaningful for me, and I hope that some of you will also be able to appreciate this, what I am about to share. So for people around my age group, I am in my 30s, I'm 32, and younger, there was a period of time in, well, way back when it was not cool to like anime and manga and things of that nature. I was very much, I mean, as a kid, I loved like anime and like pop culture, things like that. It's something that's always been a part of my life. So growing up, I was very fortunate for a very brief period of time to have access and a subscription to Shoujo Beat and also Shonen Jump. My mom, after asking a few times, and mind you, as a child, I was pretty quiet. Like I didn't ask for a lot unless it was something that I really, really wanted. And for some reason, I guess Shoujo Beat and Shonen Jump were two things that I felt like I needed to have in my life. I loved to be able to read like the manga chapters in there, because we could not afford to buy, well, I don't know if that, if we couldn't afford or not. In my brain, it was told that, oh, it's too much money to buy single mangas. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I was able to acquire a couple of volumes here and there. But as a kid, I had my subscription to Shoujo Beat and Shonen Jump, and within Shoujo Beat, there were chapters of the widely popular Nana. And as a child, I remember reading bits and pieces of the chapters, and like it was funny because as a child, like I obviously like I couldn't relate to the story. I was just like, oh, there's like pretty girls and like, who is this like punk rock chick in her cool like leopard print coat and everything. But when I tell you, like, all of the little articles in between the chapters of the mangas that, shared glimpses of fashion in Tokyo and in Japan and in Shibuya, like I was like mesmerized. And like I remember seeing like the gothic Lolita fashion and like the punk fashion and just all the street fashion. Like my little brain like absorbed so much of that to where it like really impacted and still influences a lot of my I guess stylistic choices or whatever. And it wasn't until like the last couple of months that I realized that the Nana anime was available to watch on, I think it's like on Hulu, and I didn't get to watch that as a kid because the internet was very spotty, and yeah, it was just something like I felt like I missed out on a couple of things in internet realm growing up, and it's probably for the best, because looking at how things are now, like I'm kind of glad that I wasn't fully immersed in internet culture back then. But that being said, me being the person that I am, and if you have known me through periods of my life, you know that I'm somebody that obsesses and or hyperfixates on things, and when I hyperfixate on things, it becomes a big part of my life. So much so that I usually end up commemorating it every few years with like getting a tattoo or something. That's usually how that pattern seems to work in my brain, I guess. And at this point I've just learned to accept it. I've tried to change certain patterns and habits, and I always end up falling back into certain things, and I've told myself that now at this age it's like, if it's not harming anybody and it's making me happy, then like just leave it be. My bills are paid, I have a roof over my head, I'm a responsible adult. So I think that I should be allowed to enjoy certain things. And if that means using adult money to further my hyperfixations, then so be it. But anyways, going back to the hyperfixations. So when I was young and looking into the shoujo beat, I guess it wasn't really like a magazine. I don't really know what to call it. But flipping through the shoujo beats, I remember always like seeing all of like Nana's outfits. Nana Osaki, not Hachi, not Hachiko. If it wasn't obvious. But I remember seeing like all of her outfits and thinking, wow, these are so cool. And I remember seeing like the Vivienne Westwood name, and like in my head, like I had no idea how much those clothes cost, or anything, until I got older, and I was like, oh, this is like, there's a pretty decent price tag on some of these items. But fast forward to now, as I was saying, sorry, I have squirrel brain, sometimes it's hard for me to like focus. But watching the Nana anime reignited something in me, which I really needed, because the last few years of my life, I have put so much focus on my career. And I say career because in my head, I'm always thinking like, okay, well, I feel imposter syndrome. I always feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm like, what am I doing with myself? Like, who do I think I am? But as far as career goes, like, yeah, I focused a lot on my work and my career, outside of like social media. And I feel like in doing that, I was able to build upon that, but I also lost a lot of my creative side somewhere in that. And you've probably noticed, if you have been paying attention or keeping up with my stuff over the last few years, is that I haven't really created a whole lot of content. I haven't posted a lot of videos. I stopped making TikToks. I stopped really being like heavily online as much as I did when I was younger. And in some ways it was good for my mental health, because like the internet is a messed up place in most cases. But I also realized that, you know, I missed creating things and sharing things that like made me happy, and I missed like connecting with people with shared interests. So watching Nana reignited something in me, and also as an adult I was able to actually experience it in a way that really kind of hit close to home. Like if you've ever been, I'm sure a lot of you can relate, but living with roommates and living with friends who are near and dear to you, that you have a deep emotional bond with, it's something that is kind of irreplaceable, despite like how horrible some situations can be. Thankfully my situations living with roommates and with my friends were not horrible, as I've heard from some other people's experiences. It could have always been better. It could have always been worse. It's in the past. So yeah, watching Nana really ignited something in me, and of course now I'm on my hyperfixation kick. So I remembered the leopard print jacket. Now we're getting back on the topic of the actual video. So the leopard print coat, or the jacket that Nana has in the manga and in the anime, I assumed was Vivienne Westwood. And I found online, I'm gonna show y'all a little clip. I don't think it was from Shoujo Beat. I think it was from like a different magazine. So I'm sure there's a better way to do this for the future. I just haven't figured it out. I don't know how to do it. But if you, in this magazine, there is this little clip and there's an image of the actual jacket. Now, I am a stickler for details, and I don't know if you can see, but it's a cropped jacket. And I've seen a lot of people posting like leopard print, cheetah print coats online. They're like, oh, it's the Nana jacket. It's the Nana jacket. And I'm like, it's too long. It's not cropped. The buttons are wrong. The collar is wrong. And I know, like, with my brain, there are just certain things of like, some things I'm okay with being like flexible with. And if you've ever seen me like do cosplays in the past, like, you know, I'm usually not like super accurate. Like I'll do like closet cosplays or whatever. But when there are little details that I can like hit the nail on the mark, then I will try my best to. So anyways, after doing some research, and I saw this and I realized that yes, okay, so the jacket is Vivienne Westwood, and it says like in like it says it mostly in Japanese, but in parentheses it says Vivienne Westwood. Now, I have been trying to find this jacket like throughout the many years. I have owned multiple leopard print, cheetah print coats, and nothing of this caliber. I've owned one from, I think, like Target. I've gotten one from like Forever 21, and they always end up in the trash because like something about it just doesn't fit right. But anyways, so I realized that, you know, this jacket, if you pay attention to the details, or if you are a Vivienne Westwood fanatic too, you'll notice that the collar is heart-shaped, kind of like the love collar, and then there are actually 4 buttons, and it is cropped. And so very similarly, if you look up close, you can see that there is 1 button there, and so it's like, okay, that is the jacket. So with that in mind, being the person that I am when I hyperfixate on things, I literally scoured the internet. I scoured the internet to find this jacket, right? And here's a photo of it. I guess somebody had colored it. It's not wanting to focus. Oh, so somebody colored it, but you can see that there's that button there. And assuming there's another button under there too. So yeah, I scoured the internet. I have looked in the last several months for a Vivienne Westwood leopard coat, and the only one that I could find was a more recent iteration of it, which is much longer, and it is not it's not tailored in a certain way. Like, it doesn't have this little tapering, I think that's the right word, tapering around the waist. And so I was like, I want it to fit perfectly, and I will continue to look until I find this right jacket. So tell me why a few weeks ago, so I think it was like the 2nd week of December, just out of the blue, I wake up before my alarm clock goes off, and I sit straight up, and in my head, you know, my little antenna goes off, and I'm just like, I'm gonna look up Vivienne Westwood stuff. So I go just kind of aimlessly, I go to the bathroom, whatever, on my phone, as most people are in the mornings, in the bathroom, whatever. And I keep looking, and I'm like, something in me is just like, okay, I feel like I want to find something, and I don't know what it is, and maybe it is the jacket. But I like got out of the bathroom, and I go and I like complain about it to my spouse. I say complain, but you know, I'm talking to them about it. My spouse also loves like fashion and clothes, but they're very like, they have a particular niche and a corner of the fashion world that they really enjoy. We have very different taste for most things as far as like clothing go, but we also appreciate a lot of similar things, which I love. But anyways, I was showing them the only jackets that I could find, and I was just like, wait, I discovered that this is this particular jacket and it's not a long coat. And I was running through like the series of maps, like that one meme, I don't know, but I was piecing all the pieces, dotting whatever, you know, and I was telling them everything, and they were like, oh, you know, you'll find the jacket eventually. And I was like, I don't know, because this jacket, I found out not too long, was that it was from 1988 or 89. Like, I did some more sleuthing and I found out the exact year that the jacket was from. And I was like, if this jacket is from 1988, 89, then that is going to make it that much harder to find this jacket, because of the jacket that was drawn in the manga was based off of this jacket. Then that means this jacket is no longer in production, and whatever is available is probably going to be secondhand. And I was like, what the heck? So again, that explained why I could not ever find this jacket, because it's not being made anymore. So after I tell my spouse, because I am the way that I am, being as hyperfixated and stubborn, some reason I decide, oh, I have to go use the bathroom again. So I get up, I go, and I'm like, I'm gonna do a little bit of I guess like a Google image search. So I put the photo in from the, I put that photo into the search. And mind you, this is the same one from like the little Nana article printout, and as you can see, it has the 4 buttons. So in my head, because this is a Nana article and there's a photo of Nana and this exact jacket, I'm gonna assume that that is the exact jacket that was drawn in the manga panel. So, long story short, I'm gonna try to focus here. I put the photo into the search, and of course it brings up a million other of these like leopard coats, but then it pulls up one photo that I had not seen before, and it was on a website that I had never seen, from a boutique that I'd never heard about. And here's one of the photos from their site. Saying it now, I did not take this photo, but it's a photo from the site, and this photo, and I'm like, is it, because there's 2 buttons there, and I was looking at it and I'm like, it's cropped, and my little brain was like tingling, and I was like, is this the jacket that my spouse literally just told me that I would find someday, and that I have been kind of hyper fixated on my entire life without actively seeking? So I'm staring at it and I'm like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. But it is listed as, you know, Vivienne Westwood, 1988, autumn, winter. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm looking at the price tag of this jacket. I have never spent, and this is not, I'm sharing this again, not to brag, but to just kind of share my experience in my process of these things. When you have experienced certain things in your life, especially traumatic things that impact your sense of self-worth, and it also ties into your ability to, I guess, work certain jobs or feel like you are capable of making a certain amount of money. Never in my life did I think that I would ever, 1, find this coat, and 2, even be able to afford this coat. And given the kind of year that 2024 was for me, and for a lot of other people, I stared at this thing all the day that I found it. I stared at it all day. And I just remember, like, I kept trying to reason with myself as to why I shouldn't buy it. And the only reason that I could find was that 1, maybe it wasn't the jacket, and 2, the price tag. And aside from that, everything else in me was screaming like, that is the jacket. That is the jacket. This is the only time that you'll probably ever see it ever again. And if there is anything that is designer and or this kind of like caliber, like a price tag of whatever it is that you're hyper fixated on, but that you know that you're going to treasure forever, this is going to be the thing and you're going to get it. And again, I kept going back and forth, but I ended up doing it and I don't regret it. There were 2 times that I broke down in tears because after I purchased it, I felt so bad because I was like, like literally my anxiety and everything was through the roof. And I was like, what if something horrible happens? And then like, like the amount of money that I spent on this jacket, like ends up being the amount that I needed to like fix this thing, or if something goes wrong with my car, mind you, something did happen to my car, but everything worked out. So I just wanted to share my excitement for that. So if you are somebody that appreciates Nana and also has hyper fixated on this jacket, I'm about to show you this jacket. I also wanted to give a thanks. Sorry, excuse me, I just ate dinner. I just wanted to give a big thanks to the boutique in New York. It was funny because I think that they literally, so the day that I found that jacket through Google, that morning from when I woke up, I think that they literally had just posted or listed that jacket like the night prior or like the day before. Because when I went to their Instagram page and I was going through their stories, they had posted a bunch of like newly listed items. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like the timing could not have been any like better. It was like synchronicity. So the boutique in New York is called Amarcord, Amarcord. So Amarcord Vintage Fashion. They are in Brooklyn, New York, and they specialize, so it is a compact boutique specializing in vintage European apparel, accessories in mod surrounds. They, like, I was kind of worried because like I've ordered things online before from other shops and things like that, and it always makes me nervous to buy things that are over a certain amount of money or a certain threshold, because shipping makes me nervous, especially with UPS. I think I've had more issues with UPS than any other like delivery service in the last like year or two. But yeah, I was super nervous. I was like, what if something happens? What if somebody bought the jacket before I did? And then like, I get like a kickback that says, oh, sorry, like, you don't get the jacket. So all of the anxious thoughts. But yeah, no, like they stated on their website that, orders placed before, a certain date in December would get shipped out and delivered right before Christmas. And when I tell you they came through, like I placed the order and then it got shipped out like not even, I think it was like maybe a day and a half after I placed the order, because I think I ordered it on like a weekend or like the day right before a weekend. I think I had ordered it on like a Friday perhaps, I don't remember. But yeah, it arrived before Christmas. It was beautiful. So without further ado, now that I've chatted your ear off, I'm going to share with you the beautiful jacket. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have retrieved the jacket. This is not the normal hanger that I keep it on. It's just for the sake of the video because I didn't want to bring the other hanger, and yeah, I don't want to explain, but here she is. This is the coat. There's the buttons. I do have it buttoned here, but there's the 4th button in there. I literally, like, I cannot express enough how great of a condition the jacket is still in for being like proper vintage. Like, this jacket was made in England, and it's Vivienne Westwood. Like, there's that. The collar is soft and round. It is a faux fur coat. I'm not gonna go too much into history and like ethics and things like that of Vivienne Westwood, but she, if you're not aware, Vivienne Westwood passed 2 years ago, but she was definitely an activist, and a lot of the more recent products, I'm gonna have to go back and research again. I think it's definitely the more recent products. I don't know if like the older products from like the like 80s were also vegan, but a lot of the bags that are available for purchase, and a lot of like the like fur things, faux fur or like vegan leather, and so yeah, like I don't really I don't really know what else to say other than like normally, so as I've stated before, like I've owned a lot of like faux fur coats, and they a lot of times will end up after a period of time, like they'll start to feel kind of dingy, or they'll start feeling kind of like really dry. Whoever had this coat prior to it coming to the boutique and landing in my hands, like whoever had it before like took really great care of it. There's hardly like, I don't see, the only thing that I will say is like, okay, some of the coloring on like the buttons, like some of the, I guess the detailing paint is a little bit worn, and that's mostly just because I guess the jacket has been worn itself. But even on the inside of like the lining, the coloration and stuff, there's no discoloration, there's no there's no tears, there's no snags. I literally, like, I cannot, like, my brain is still so boggled. Like, inner lining, she's beautiful, she is grace. Here it says simulated fur, treat and clean like fur, Belgium. There's a button on the inside. So yeah, I was just sharing my coat. There's little pockets, and no, there was no cash or fun things hidden in there. So I'm gonna go set her back down now, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've put the coat away, and yeah, like my inner child is like screaming with joy, and I just wanted to say that at the end of the day, life is short, and you should be able to do what makes you happy. And there is always going to be people that have something to say. They're always going to have not so nice things to say. And just as there are people like that, there's going to be so many other people that are going to be excited for you, and that are going to want to take part in sharing the joy that you are also experiencing. It's kind of a message for myself and for whoever is watching. Yeah, I think that I really did kind of debate. I was going back and forth deciding whether or not I was going to share the jacket or like make a specific video just for the jacket, but it really is something that is like so special to me. And I know that a lot of you that are also fans of Nana and of Vivienne Westwood would also hopefully appreciate seeing the jacket as well. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say or share aside from that. I know it seems a little bit like superficial, but you know, if you get it, you get it. If not, I'm not gonna sit here and explain it to you. I am somebody that I see the value in a lot of different perspectives, and although, you know, some people may know me from like work or from certain parts of life to be very like woo-woo, like spiritual, witchy, whatever, like not of this earth, but then there are other people that know me that know that I very much I try my best to enjoy life on this earth to the best of my ability, because I, as many others, have been through a lot of not so fun things, and so where I do have control, I will definitely do what I can in order to enjoy life. And Sumi here wanted me to pick her up, and now she doesn't want to be seen on camera. But yeah, like, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed seeing the jacket and enjoying seeing Sumi's face. And I will be back sometime with another video about something entirely off topic, different topic. I don't know, whatever I feel like sharing, whatever Sumi feels like sharing. You know, right? Little chimpy wimbles. Alright, see you guys next time.